Hi everyone, it's Mikkel. I just came home from work and I've been trying out this chin-operated welding helmet. Yes, a chin-operated welding helmet from AccuStrike.com. This helmet uses a passive lens that moves up by just an opening of your jaw. I'll show you now. So you put it down and it wraps around your chin and you just open your jaw enough to get a little peek. People were looking at me from across the shop like, what, is this kid the Messiah? It's insane. But this is actually now my favorite welding helmet, and I'm going to talk about why. This helmet costs about $99 US, which is something like 160 Australian dollars. And I prefer this helmet more than my $400 Lincoln Viking, and I'm going to tell you why. The first reason is the passive lenses are just more reliable. They always work. Whereas an auto-darkening lens can go out after a couple of years, maybe even a couple of months, and it just won't darken anymore, and that can be a real hassle. This is why I always suggest having a passive lens as a backup if your helmet can fit them. The second reason is if there are other people welding around you, it won't darken the lens. An auto-darkening lens becomes obsolete if other people are welding around you, because the light from their arc triggers the sensors and darkens your hood, meaning you can't see what you're doing. The third reason why I like this hood so much is the welding lenses are so cheap. Passive welding lenses tend to be far cheaper than auto-darkening lenses, even though they last a lot longer. Meaning if they get damaged, for instance, if you drop them, you won't feel so bad about replacing them. The fourth reason is it makes it so easy to see what I'm doing before I start welding and check my positioning. This hood gives me better welds than my $400 hood, and this costs about $150. Let me explain why. An auto-darkening hood, this is not my Lincoln Viking, it's a really cheap one, but it'll work, is about a shade 3.5 before you start the arc. Whereas this is clear. Not shade 3, not shade 4, clear. Which makes it very easy to see what you're doing. Sometimes you might be in a little corner or something and there isn't a lot of light, so your positioning might not be right. And you mess up the arc strike from the get-go. Whereas with this, that doesn't happen because it's clear. I still believe that an expensive and optically clear welding hood at the right shade is a good investment, especially if you're a beginner, because it allows you to see very specifically what the puddle looks like, and it really opens your eyes to what you're looking for. But one thing I've learned is that the pros can be able to use cheaper hoods. Alright, I'll give you an example. At my work, the guys who are doing the best welds in the shop, and there's about 50 welders in this company by the way, they were all using this style of welding hood. They're under 20 Australian dollars, so that's like 10 US dollars. Welding hoods, and they were doing fantastic welds. And I'm like, what? Because I was there with my $400 hood and I was just doing pretty good, but nowhere near at their level welds. And this sort of opened my eyes to the fact that it's not the hood that makes the welder, it's the welder that makes the hood. If you get a great welder with a really cheap hood and an okay welder with a really good hood, the good welder will crush them any day. Once you're good at welding, you should be able to weld in any hood that someone can give you and still make good results. Even though I have 3 hoods, my chin-operated one, my Lincoln Viking, and my Wendy's Pancake, I use them all for different applications. For short welds and tacks where I have to make a number of them, I use the Lincoln Viking because the auto-darkening feature is really handy for that. When I have a really long day of welding, or if I'm doing stick welding, I'll use the Pancake because first off, I get better welds with it. I don't get the backlight. Secondly, it's lighter, so for a long day of welding, it doesn't hurt my neck as much. And for stick welding, which gets especially hot, it's a lot cooler. And also, these are just made for pipeliners. Especially if I'm welding out of position, the thing on the side protects my neck from getting burnt. But now, for most of my welding, I use this humble chin-operated welding hood. So if you're just starting out welding, this is something I definitely recommend looking at. I hope you've learned something. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, If you have any questions or something to say, leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. Maybe subscribe to the channel as well. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Mike out.